There, we're synced up. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Moto Mischa, your host for this video series. We are in part 2, the mid-season rider rankings for the 2022 MotoGP class. In the previous video, we ranked the bottom third of the league from P24 all the way up to P17. And now in part 2, we're gonna do P16 all the way to P9. And obviously in part 3 and final part of the mid-season rider rankings, we're gonna do the top 8. Yes. So, with that being said, we left off at P16. Like I said in the first video, you guys filled out the form that I left in the description of my previous videos, as well as in the community tab of the channel, and you guys filled out your rankings, and now we're gonna compare your rankings to mine. Alright, so in P16, you guys have picked in 3, 2, 1, Marco Bezzecchi. Now, Marco Bezzecchi, really good choice. I actually do like this. I quite like this, yeah, I must say. You know, I, however, picked in 3, 2, 1, Luca Marini. Yeah, I picked his teammate. I really do think the VR46 riders are quite similar. I mean, they both now have one podium to their name, I believe. Luca Marini got a podium last year in 2021. Meanwhile, Bezzecchi just got a podium, his first podium of the top class of this year, in astonishing second place. You know, I do think it goes to show that the VR46 Academy really does produce some good riders. I mean, Pecco Bagnaia is also part of that academy, and we all know how good he is now, right? So, Bezzecchi and Marini up in P16. Bezzecchi for you guys, Marini for me. Alright, well, now into P15. The Monde has spoken once again, and for P15, the Monde has chosen in 3, 2, 1, Alex Marquez. Now, I must say I am quite surprised that Alex Marquez was rated so highly by you guys, because for me personally, you know who I picked in P15? I picked in 3, 2, 1, Marini's teammate, Marco Bezzecchi, who we just talked about. Yeah, I really do think Marquez, Alex Marquez that is, has got a little something to prove. I mean, that's why I ranked him lower, and he was in the previous video. He just showed up on my rankings at P18. And yeah, P15 though, I think that's a little bit of a stretch because he is, I think, talented, but maybe it's just the bike with LCR Honda that's not super developed, but also the fact that he's the brother of one of the greatest MotoGP riders of all time in Marc Marquez, that I think Alex Marquez does have a high standard set for him, whether fairly or unfairly. And so that also does kind of make his results kind of seem a little worse compared to Mark's results when he was at this point in his career, only what, 3 years in now? But yeah, I'll respect it. P15, I mean, yeah, nothing much, you know, just the standard, few points finishes, 0 podiums, 0 wins. Hopefully though, I don't know about by the end of this season if he'll do any better on the list, but at this time next year, hopefully Alex Marquez will be higher on this list. I do have faith in him, but once again, like I always say, time will tell. And moving on to P14, next up on the list, the Monde has chosen in 3, 2, 1, Pol Espargaro. And guess what? I chose him as well. Pol Espargaro for P14. I really do think this is appropriate. I think we both got this right this time. Yeah, Pol Espargaro, he has shown flashes in his career of being something special, but has just never really taken that next level into that elite status. I think his best years were at KTM, factory KTM. I mean, he really did put in a string of podiums. However, he's still at this point in his career, you know, almost a decade in, looking for his first win in MotoGP. But yeah, in 2022, Pol Espargaro, I don't think that Honda Repsol is appropriate for him. I don't think it really suits him. I believe he would probably have been better off staying at KTM. Yeah, I mean, he had a podium, 3rd place at the Qatar GP, the first race of the year, and I don't know if you guys remember, but he was leading that race for most of the race until he kind of messed it up near the end in the last few laps. But managed to salvage a podium, and once again though, other than that, 40 points this year, only 17th in the standings, you know, kind of in the same realm as those rookies who are in the class this year, you know, in that same point spectrum. Yeah, hopefully he can do better. Better like the next guy who is in P13, which we both chose the same guy. Once again, for the 2nd place in a row. In P13, we have in 3, 2, 1... Maverick Vinales, the Aprilia rider, his first full season with Aprilia in 2022. I think he's blossoming and getting used to that Aprilia RSGP bike compared to last year when he had the fallout with Yamaha, joined Aprilia mid-season, didn't really have time to adapt himself, you know, and he looked weak in comparison to Aleix Espargaro, who has been with Aprilia for quite a number of years now. But yeah, Maverick, he did get his first Aprilia podium this year, I must say. He got a 3rd place, and he also has 62 points in the championship in a 12th position as well. Few points finishes, I think 9 times points finishes, as well as cracking the top 10 6 times. That's right, 6 times in the top 10. So he is, getting there. He really is. But hopefully, once again, like I say for all these riders, hopefully they can prove themselves and jump up the rankings and into the top 10 for Vinales. Moving on. Once again, for the 3rd consecutive position, we picked the correct guy. And in P12, in 3, 2, 1... Alex Rins. That's right, Alex Rins from Suzuki X-Star, who will no longer be there after next year. He will move to LCR Honda, but that's in another video, which I already did, which you can find in the link in the description. But Rins, 75 points in the championship. He's in 9th position. He does have 2 podiums this year, although he should have more podiums and possibly a couple wins sprinkled around his results. But it's the name of the game with Alex Rins, man. Just constantly retiring. I think this year he did have, 3 or 4 straight races where he didn't even finish. He retired from the race. And that does not bode well when you're trying to win a championship, right? But he's just not a model of consistency, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll see what comes of him by the end of the season. P11, though, we have another rider who has struggled with consistency. And in P11, the Monde has chosen, along with Moto Mischa, 3, 2, 1, Miguel Oliveira, the only Portuguese rider in the top class. Now, Miguel Oliveira, I don't know if you guys remember his early MotoGP career when he was with Tech 3 KTM, the satellite team. Very good results in his first season. I think he had 3 podiums in his first season, and he got up to the factory KTM team this year. However, though, I don't know, maybe it's the bike this year, but Miguel is just not cutting it. He did, however, have 1 win in 2022 so far at the Indonesian Grand Prix, which, hey, good for him. Yes, good for him. Cracked the top 10 another 6 times as well, but 71 points in 10th position in the championship, and he honestly should be better because his counterpart Brad Binder is actually outperforming him this year. A sophomore outperforming a 3rd year? I mean, come on, man. You gotta do better than that. What are you doing? Jeez. And cracking the top 10, which is quite impressive for this guy. Once again, the Monde and Moto Mischa have chosen the same rider for P10 in 3, 2, 1. Jorge Martin from Pramac Ducati. 70 points, 11th in the championship. He does have a 2nd place this year at Catalunya and Argentina. So 2 podium finishes and a number of top 10s. However, once again, it's that consistency. It's like almost everyone's riding like Marc Marquez. It's like they're his disciples, just so aggressively crashing out by making silly mistakes, also picking up a few injuries along the way, and just really hindering their chances at having success for a full season, right? And Jorge Martin does have that potential. I mean, he was considered to take the factory Ducati spot early in the season when he was just killing it. But then with the series of retirements and then an injury and not doing so well, I don't think he's really in the running at this current moment in time. Yeah, but P10, not bad for a sophomore, but I kind of feel weird putting this man in front of Jorge Martin, this next man, because in P9 we have the Monde and Mischa's pick in 3, 2, 1. Marc Marquez, MM93, that's right, from Honda Repsol. It's weird putting him on this list, but he is technically the main rider for Honda Repsol, and although he's not completing the season because of his injury, 4th arm surgery, horrific crash he had 2 seasons ago, but we have to recognize greatness where greatness happens, and that is Marc Marquez this year before he called it quits. He was finishing P4, P5, P6 in races, consecutive races, so that must be rewarded. I think by the end of this season, we'll probably have to take him out of this list, or we might just leave him in there. I don't know yet. I think that's it. So with that being said, stay tuned for part 3 of the mid-season rider rankings. Yeah, where we're gonna rank the top 8. We're getting into nitty-gritty territory here, I'm telling you, and you're not gonna want to miss out. So like this video if you liked it, subscribe because you have to, you must if you made it this far. Share this video as much as you like, and comment to let me know what you think of the ranking so far. Thanks a lot. I'm Moto Mischa. Peace.